when I was gone.
You're
Well,
welcome, John. Happy to do it.
It worked out
Anytime.
really, he did a great job.
Well, thank you. I felt like, it's nice to have the help of the staff.
Well, I was gonna
Every
say,
time
Marcia, I
I'm
think
thinking, okay, what?
I think Marcia, has some of the process stuff down well too, which is helping.
She does. Yeah,
He really,
yeah.
he's been super.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Marcia.
Oh, we were complimenting you without knowing that you were on.
I'm
Well,
working.
that must have been a real compliment then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I am working on the live stream, trying to get that going right now.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Is Steve on board or is he still trying to get on? Steve Danziger, are you there?
Oh, maybe not.
Thank you.
Hi, Glorianne.
Hey, Lorianne.
Hi.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's Steve.
There he is. Hi,
Hello.
Steve.
Hey,
Hello.
Steve.
I stayed.
Hi, John.
I hope that, Marcia, I hope that, I'm not sure how many of these, public, private, public meetings, Greg has been in, but it was, I hope he's not on the other one.
He is not. I can see the other one.
Okay, good. Aren't you smart? Oh. Turn it off, I have. Oh, there's Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hey,
Hello, Greg.
Welcome, Greg.
hi guys.
Okay, I guess it's another minute.
Yeah,
My clock just turned 6 o'clock.
yeah, me too.
Well, welcome to the Orinda Moraga District Special Board Meeting, and we'll take roll call.
President Jex,
Yes,
Director Danziger,
Here.
Director Hassler,
Here.
Director Jorgens,
Here.
Director Romer.
Here.
Mike, do you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I guess next thing is public comment. Is anyone have comments relating to something that is not on the agenda this evening?
And so this would be related to the closed session items.
Okay,
We do have one attendee, but we do not have any hands raised, and I've not received any written public comment.
okay, thank you, Marcia. We'll adjourn then until into the closed session.
You can make that big.
Now,
Was the meeting closed?
close is finished. This is open now.
Oh, screen. So you weren't locked, kicked off?
No,
Oh, okay.
Jonathan, are you and the only ones on this meeting?
No, we've got, we have, Director Romer, Director Danziger, Chief, Glorianne, Christine, and Marcia, but we're missing Craig, and Greg. That's right, Craig and Greg.
Welcome back, everybody.
So is everybody back?
We're still missing Director Hassler.
Oh, oop, this time.
I've reached out to Director Hassler. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
sorry.
And Mark,
There we go.
It is 7:01.
Okay. We'll reconvene the meeting, and there is nothing to report in our closed session. So we'll do recall or roll call again.
Okay, President Jex,
Yes.
Director Danziger,
Here.
Director Hassler,
Here.
Director Jorgens,
Here.
Director Romer.
Here.
Okay. Just as I reported earlier, there's no report in the closed session in terms of any action taken. Open the meeting for any comment by the public in regards to items in the agenda.
So we do not have any hands raised, and we've not received any written public comment for any items not on the agenda.
Okay. All right.
Good evening, directors. Item 7.1 on the special agenda is brought before you tonight, which is approval to authorize fire chief to enter into a grant subaward agreement from the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services in the amount of $800,000 for a 3-year pilot program for 2 additional wildland fire specialists to work with residents to mitigate fire risk, and to authorize 2 additional fire prevention specialist positions within MOFD, and to authorize a FY 2023 general fund budget adjustment revenue increase in the amount of $60,000. Authorize FY 23 general fund expenditure budget adjustment increase in the amount of $60,000. As outlined in the staff report that is included in the packet, working really under the leadership of the Orinda city manager, David Biggs, in concert with the Moraga town manager, we applied for and received consideration through the Office of Assemblymember Bayer Cahan, who included a specific line in the budget authorization at the state level that made this award. I would like to acknowledge the leadership City Manager Biggs played in this role, and Assemblymember Bayer Cahan's ongoing advocacy on our behalf and her ongoing legislative efforts with regard to wildfire safety. I would also point out that this has moved very quickly, and we would not normally have brought it forward before the board without a full understanding of what expenses beyond payroll and benefits this grant can be used for. However, in this particular case, I believe it's time sensitive because we have an applicant who has been through our full vetting process from our recent hiring announcement for the fuel mitigation specialist vacancies, who we'd like to hire and who I'm concerned will go somewhere else if we delay in authorizing this adjustment. And also there's a time sensitive nature to the seasonality of the work the fuel mitigation specialists carry out. So we would recommend that we approve the grant with understanding the staff will come back with additional information as we further improve our understanding of what additional expenses perhaps associated with equipment, vehicles, renting vehicles for them to move around, et cetera. Those sort of things, whether any of those could be charged to the grant or whether there'd be the potential for an extension of the grant to get us up to the full authorized amount. That said, I do believe this is time sensitive. We do know that the grant will fund the fully burdened positions to the full amount, and I don't believe there is any downside for the board moving forward with accepting this grant with the information we currently have on hand, and that uncertainty is offset by the clear benefits of increasing the size of our fuel mitigation specialist workforce in advance of the busy season that we generally see really kicking off around April 1. Included as a attachment to the staff report is the actual subaward from OES, and I'd be happy to answer any questions from the directors and members of the public.
Chief, this is Director Danziger. I just have a question. We already have the position of the fuel mitigation specialist. Is there any special requirements or anything attached to the grant that's over and above what we presently do?
No, sir. The request was specifically written to map to what our current positions, primarily because we have a hiring process for them. We have, those are limited term positions, which would be very similar to a grant position where there's an expected sunset to the funding and to the position. We didn't want to create a tiered system internally, and we didn't want to have to rewrite our job description, et cetera. So by expanding our existing program, utilizing additional positions underneath the existing job description, we felt that was the administrative path of least resistance.
And just to follow up, is our present supervisory staff can handle 2 additional fuel mitigation specialists under the,
Yes, sir.
current structure?
We have the management capacity. I would not recommend moving beyond this. More is not necessarily better in this space. And there are some real limitations to what the fuel mitigation specialists are capable of doing, mostly due to their relatively short tenure. We've been about 18 months average. As those folks have moved on to do other things, essentially advancing their fire service career, which we want them to do. However, this is not a position where more would be better.
Okay, and final question is, I heard you say you had one candidate that, we can talk to after this meeting. Do we have to open up the position again to try to find an additional candidate?
I defer to Christine. I believe this exhausts the hiring that we will make if approved here. That one will exhaust our current list, and we'll reopen the process to seek another applicant.
Yeah, we do have several other applicants that would be eligible to go through the interview process at this time.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a great point. Christine made this an open till filled, I believe, position, which allowed the rolling
I did.
application question. Thank you.
Yeah, it was open and continuous.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay.
Chief, when does it says a 3-year program. When does the 3 years start? When you hire the person, or does it start today, or when's
It's 3 budget years, sir. But these are the sort of thing that we'll certainly engage with the state to determine, is there an opportunity to request an extension based on essentially the late award date, or the opportunity to request an extension for additional years in order to expend the full funds.
Right.
That budget adjustment of 60,000 revenue up and expenditure, I assume that's the amount of time in the current fiscal 23 budget usage.
That's correct, sir. I defer to Gloria if there's any additional information she'd like to share.
Yes, so that when I calculated that was assuming that we would hire someone starting now and through June 30th of 2023.
Okay, I assume that's what it was. Thank you.
So we don't always have our budget approved, I think, by June 30th, right? I mean, sometimes we do, but not always. So is there any issue with keeping these people going? I mean, I think our normal process is and the formal process is, if you don't have a new approved budget, you just stick with the old budget, and that's what you keep going on, that rate.
Yes, sir. It's a continuation of effort. We certainly recommend that there be a budget adopted at the meeting in June. However, we don't have an obligation to do it until later in the calendar year.
Okay. Is the plan to have these people be, trained in the chipper, and I mean, or are we thinking of, having different people in the same group? We have people that do inspections, we have people that do chipping, well, they do both, actually, I guess. It's not obvious we need 5 people that know how to do chipping. Maybe we do. So is there a thought that we're really going to have them all be trained on everything, or are we going to, or maybe train them a little later when there is less inspecting to do or something?
Yes, sir. The answer on that is all the above. We do intend to approach this as a pilot to try new things out and to identify, are there better ways our folks can be employed, or the efficiencies and economies of scale. That said, things like training on the chipper is a relatively quick process. There's not that much to it. And there is real benefit for us for having the plug and play flexibility, that they all have the same baseline training. And then we start aligning people based on either the demand signal or where they have an aptitude to receive the best results. But we do intend to do some significant experimentation with these positions in order to refine and optimize the use of the fuel mitigation specialist and to improve the district's effectiveness in not only the prevention, but the mitigation space, to ensure we're giving the residents the best suite of options whether that be outreach and education, whether it be enforcement, or whether that be assistance with specific mitigation projects with either pile burning or chipping.
Great. This is obviously great news.
We're
Well,
tremendously
in my
grateful.
opinion, it's obviously great. How's that? Sorry.
We're tremendously grateful to Assemblymember Bayer Kahan and her leadership in this area.
I was going to say, congratulations to all those involved.
Yeah, my memory was back when we were applying for this, it was a super long shot, and obviously it worked.
I think Doug Flutie, Hail Mary, would have fallen a little short on what a long shot we thought this was. Director Hassler, I believe you had a.
Oh, I was just making sure this $60,000 that's in here is fully loaded, right? And is compensation and benefits, correct?
Correct.
The full okay.
So, I mean, I can think of a whole lot of things in addition to cars and, things like that. I can think of, office space, a lot of things we could load it, whatever our 12.5% normal loading is for overhead kind of stuff, we could potentially add on to that.
Yes, sir. This is the information we're currently engaged with state staff to better understand what's allowable, to make sure we don't do anything that is not allowable, and then to better understand what the long-term implications are of our ability to spend the money. We know the state doesn't want it back, but we also know the state will not pay if we ask for something that's not approved. So we want to make sure we're very carefully on that straight and narrow while exploring all of the options to include potentially extensions if that's something the state would consider.
Great.
We'll invite the public. Any comments that the public may have regarding this item?
So we do not have any hands raised, and I've not received any written public comment.
Okay, then we'd like a motion to be made to second the action or the approve the action of
I
accepting the
move we
grant.
accept the grant.
And change the budget and change the staffing level.
Yes, all of the above. Everything in 7.1.
I'll second that.
Okay. Want to have
Before we vote on it, I'd like to see about if it's appropriate to add one more thing to the motion, and that might be perhaps a letter from the board to Assemblymember Bayer Kahan, thanking her for assistance in her efforts on behalf of this grant.
Yes,
great idea.
definitely.
Perfect.
Agreed.
Direction received. We'll put something together for the board's review, sir.
Great, thank you.
And invite
Okay.
comments on the motion. And we do not have any hands raised or received public comment.
Okay, then. Any more board deliberation on the motion, or should we proceed with the vote?
Let's get it done.
Okay.
President
Wanna take
Jex?
a roll?
President Jex?
Yes.
Director Danziger?
Aye.
Director Hassler?
Aye.
Director Jorgens?
Aye.
Director Romer?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
So I move that we
Thanks a
adjourn
lot.
the meeting.
Motion
right.
to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
President Jex?
Yes.
Director Danziger?
Aye.
Director Hassler?
Aye.
Director Jorgens?
Aye.
Director Romer?
Aye.
Good
Good
night.
night,
you very
everybody.
much.
Thanks,
Aye.
everyone.
Good night.
Thanks a lot.